Recently, Binance made headlines with a groundbreaking settlement with US regulators, and the repercussions are shaking up the crypto world. CZ of Binance is expected to plead guilty to violating US anti-money laundering laws, prompting his resignation as Binance's CEO. The news has sparked a flurry of speculation, with some seeing it as a bullish signal for upcoming spot Bitcoin ETF applications, while others anticipate potential revelations that could reshape the industry. Today, we're unraveling the intricacies of this settlement, how it transpired, who's involved, what decisions were made, and most crucially, what it means for the market, especially for BNB holders. Let's start with the backstory. Binance has been under the scrutiny of US authorities since 2018. The investigation was fueled by its status as the largest crypto exchange and its earlier years of operation without stringent Know Your Customer (KYC) requirements. KYC, a global regulatory norm rooted in the US Bank Secrecy Act, became mandatory for crypto exchanges globally in 2019, per the Financial Action Task Force (FATF) recommendations. In 2020, pressure mounted on exchanges to comply, compelling Binance to implement KYC in 2021. Failure to comply with FATF guidelines could lead countries to be gray or blacklisted, affecting their financial interactions globally. The charges against Binance involve operating in the US without proper registration, violating sanctions laws, and lacking adequate KYC and anti-money laundering protocols. CZ is specifically charged with the latter. The irony lies in the fact that while the US continues to combat global illicit financial activities, Binance is under scrutiny for regulatory lapses. Interestingly, although Binance has been under investigation for years, enforcement actions only gained momentum this year, hinting at a coordinated crackdown on the crypto industry. The Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC, initiated action in March, followed by the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, in June, citing securities laws violations, fund commingling, and market manipulation. Notably, the SEC's allegations are substantial, touching on issues that have hindered the approval of a spot Bitcoin ETF. But surprisingly, they were not part of the settlement. The Department of Justice, DOJ, Treasury Department, and CFTC orchestrated the settlement, excluding the SEC. The absence of fraud charges and the DOJ's earlier reluctance to trigger an enforcement action leading to Binance's collapse adds another layer of intrigue. Binance and CZ were formally indicted on November 14th, with the settlement likely reached on November 20th, just a day before its public disclosure. The delayed announcement was due to court proceedings in Seattle, Washington. Now, let's dive into the nitty-gritty of the settlement. As you've likely heard, Binance has agreed to a jaw-dropping fine of $4.3 billion, and CZ is stepping down as CEO, facing a $150 million fine and a potential 18-month stint behind bars. And let me tell you, calling this the tip of the iceberg would be an understatement. Shortly after the settlement bombshell, key figures from the DOJ, CFTC, and Treasury gathered for a press conference that, let's be honest, left us all wide-eyed. Merrick Garland from the DOJ, Rostin Benham from the CFTC, and the now famous Janet Yellen from the Treasury, or as she charmingly put it, Bance, spilled the beans on the deal. Garland proudly declared that Binance had pleaded guilty to a laundry list of allegations, breaking KYC and AML laws, failing to register with the Treasury and CFTC, and violating US sanctions. And then came the kicker, an astronomical $4.3 billion fine. Breaking it down, $2.5 billion is technically forfeited by Binance, while the remaining $1.8 billion will settle fines from the Treasury and CFTC. Now, brace yourself because it gets scarier. Garland revealed that as part of the settlement, the DOJ will be implementing strict monitoring and reporting requirements on Binance. This means filing suspicious activity reports and combing through past transactions for anything fishy. Bad actors in the crypto industry using Binance might be in for a rough ride. And on that note, you've probably seen CZ's lengthy tweet announcing his departure from Binance. Richard Tang has stepped in as the new CEO, previously heading Binance's regional markets. In a recent tweet, CZ made a statement saying, and I quote, "As a shareholder and former CEO with historical knowledge of our company, I will remain available to the team to consult as needed, consistent with the framework set out in our U.S. agency resolutions." Now, this is interesting because CZ is supposed to be prohibited from being involved with Binance, as mentioned in that press conference. What makes CZ's comment even more intriguing is that, reportedly, he will be allowed to keep his majority stake in Binance, as Forbes reported. The fact that this prohibition only lasts for 3 years raises the possibility that he could return as CEO someday. CZ also mentioned that he will probably do some passive investing, being a minority token shareholder in startups in areas of blockchain, Web3D, AI, and biotech. It's fascinating, especially considering CZ's tweet last year revealing his portfolio was 99% BNB and 1% BTC. Assuming that's still the case, it's reasonable to expect CZ to focus his future crypto activities on BNB. Now, CZ proudly pointed out in his statement, "I am proud to point out that in our resolutions with the U.S. agencies, they do not allege that Binance misappropriated any user funds and do not allege that Binance engaged in any market manipulation." This sentiment was echoed by Binance co-founder Yi. So, what does all of this mean for the crypto space? Well, as always, the answer is nuanced, both bullish and bearish. Let's start with the bearish side to get it out of the way. The Binance settlement is undeniably part of a broader ongoing crypto crackdown in the United States. The timing, seemingly last minute, suggests it was driven by recent events, notably the constant FUD about crypto being used for illicit activities and the subsequent calls from politicians to investigate the crypto industry. References to these illicit activities were abundant during the press conference, indicating that the Binance settlement might be just half the story. Now, the Tether question remains. On the same day as the Binance settlement was announced, Tether published a blog post stating, "In line with its dedication to upholding the integrity of the financial ecosystem, Tether recently onboarded the United States Secret Service into its platform and will be working with the Federal Bureau of Investigation to do the same." This strategic initiative aims to extend crucial support to victims affected by crimes under investigation by the U.S. Department of Justice. This suggests that Tether might be in a similar position to where Binance was with the U.S. authorities not so long ago. The difference is that Tether may not be allowed to continue operating in its current form. If the Binance settlement was coordinated by pro-crypto entities, as hinted throughout the video, the absence of fraud, asset commingling, and market manipulation allegations means that the SEC has no grounds to reject pending spot Bitcoin ETF applications. USDC's market cap has been steadily declining for over a year and a half, while USDT's market cap has been hitting all-time highs. Unless BlackRock is secretly managing USD's reserves too, this incentivizes them to reduce USD's dominance and boost USDC's dominance. The orderly unwind of Binance's BUSD demonstrates it can be done, and some argue it needs to be for a spot Bitcoin ETF approval. The SEC has expressed concerns about USDT in previous spot Bitcoin ETF rejections, and this is why the Binance settlement is bullish for crypto. Aside from the fact that close oversight by US authorities increases the chance of a spot Bitcoin ETF approval, the way the settlement was achieved with minimal market disruption showcases the true resilience of crypto. As Tree of Alpha pointed out on Twitter, SLX, a stablecoin with a $23 billion market cap, was shut down, and a record-setting settlement was negotiated with regulators of the most powerful country globally. Yet, not a single SAT was lost, and Binance, along with the crypto market, continues to operate as usual. This goes to show that the crypto market is poised for the institutional flows that will inevitably come. There might be more turbulence along the way, but ultimately, the gains will surpass anyone's expectations. All that remains is to ensure that we emerge victorious in the next battle for crypto. That's it for today. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next one, and remember, The future of finance is here with KTC.